to go to a Sharpeville Day celebration. Water provision and sanitation services have for a long time been concerned for the residents of okay, I think this is a different story. We're going to Sharpeville and joined by our colleague Ntebo Mokobo. Ntebo, a very good morning to you. On this side of the country, we're celebrating Sharpeville Day. What has been happening so far?
Well, good morning and good morning to the viewers. Yes, indeed, we are here in Sharpeville. We will be soon joined by the both presidents of Azapo and the PAC Mzwanele Nyonzo, as well as Elvis Kekama of the PAC of Azapo. What is happening is that they're commemorating the March 21, 1960 massacre. This is the place where 69 people were killed in 1960, 62 years ago. And of course, we know that today, as they commemorate, this is the first time for them to commemorate this event together after the signing of the cooperation agreement that they signed in Kempton Park last month on the 18th of February. Without wasting any time, I would like to invite both presidents to tell us about the significance of jointly commemorating this day together. And I would be joined by the president of the PAC, Ntebo Mokobo. Tate Nyonzo, today you are commemorating this day together. Just tell us the significance of the joint commemoration of this day as both the PAC and Azapo.
Very significant. You've correctly put it, my brother, that this is the first commemoration, in fact national commemoration, you can call it international if you like, after the signing of our agreement with Azapo, which are also our comrades. Of course, we are one. It is very important, very significant, because firstly we are very happy because we have reclaimed our Sharpeville. Remember, in the past 4, 5, 6, 7 years, those who decided to change this day to Human Rights Day without even consulting those who led the march were always here, playing here, celebrating the death of our people. Now, first thing we did after our election, we said we want to claim our Sharpeville, and we want to declare this event or this day as Sharpeville Day and Slanger Day, because it is not a Human Rights Day. So it is very significant that when we commemorate it here for the first time, we're commemorating it with our comrades from Azapo. The unity of African people is very important. Unity of PAC and Azapo is very key, because as we have said it, we are going to make sure that the land is returned to its people, the Africans. And you must also, let me remind you, this is the Pan-Africanist Congress of Azania. I saw Sakina and you in the morning, you were trying to say you are from South Africa. Because one of the resolutions we have taken with Azapo is to popularize the name Azania, to make sure that this country's name is called Azania. Remember, this country does not have a name. It is only a direction. So it's part of our agreement that this country must be Azania. So we are PAC of Azania, and we are happy that we are here together with Azapo commemorating the death of our martyrs.
There's a bit of an ancestral coincidence here. We are told in 1960, March 21, it was on a Monday, it was raining, and today is the 21st of March, it is raining. Can you just take us through that ancestral and biblical coincidence?
It is very important, because what is happening today is symbolical. History is doing its own reminder, because human beings forget. So this is a struggle against forgetting. This is a struggle against the erasure of history and the distortion of history. It is important that we do this because we understand what rains means biblically and historically, but particularly culturally, our African culture. Rain is associated with life, revival of life. Rain is actually associated with the fact that now there's going to be food, there's going to be everything, there's going to be life, people are going to be alive again. But it is also important that we do this so that our children do not forget, they know what happened today. Because here are 69 people who were shot dead. They were not demanding death. They were demanding to be arrested because they were showing a struggle against the past laws. But again, we are doing this remembrance so that in this democracy we do not forget. In this democracy, this is not reported. In this democracy, there is no Marikana again, because Marikana happened because we are beginning to forget. That is why we should never forget.
Ndatinyonso, they fight for liberation. They fought for liberation. They died for liberation. Do you think what they stood for has been realized, and you still maintain that this is just a betrayal? There's nothing that has been achieved since 1994 in terms of bettering the lives of the lot of black people.
In fact, we are from bad to worse. Liberation has not been realized. Liberation has not been achieved. The land is still in the hands of white people. The economy is still controlled by white people. So the liberation has not been realized. And what they died for, if as these organizations we are not taking the baton forward, it means that they have died in vain. And it means so those who went to exile, when they in exile in vain. Those who were hanged, they were hanged in vain. Now everything that they fought for has not been realized, and it is our responsibility as this generation and as this leadership of these organizations to take the baton forward and make sure that our people are liberated and make sure that our land is returned to its rightful owners. So we are going to fulfill that in our lifetime, and we are not going to betray that mission, as Frantz Fanon would exclaim.
But do you think you've got the muscle and the voice to really realize what you think hasn't been realized?
We do have that muscle. Remember, we are here today in this democracy because of that muscle, because of Azapo and the PAC. We had Sharpeville, we had June 16, that demonstrate that muscle. And today we've come together again to say to the people, we are presenting to you an alternative. They've really been running around with you. You've been getting nowhere. You've been circling the mountain and getting nowhere. This is the time now to turn and look to the north, and in that north you will find the PAC and Azapo. We are presenting you a choice. We are saying to you, these people here died because they were saying this country is Azania. These people here died because they were reclaiming the land so that the land returned to their rightful owners, and that land is not back. 72% of commercial farms in this country are still in the hands of white people. The land is in white people. That land needs to come back to us, because our dignity as a people is anchored in that land. Our humanity as a people is anchored in that land. We are reclaiming our dignity and humanity as black people.
But when everything got off the rail, and when the dream that was promised in 1994 got deferred, as the PAC, didn't you think that maybe this is the appropriate time for your message to gain resonance with the rank and file and the populace of South Africa? Why now?
And our message is indeed resonating with our people right now. And remember, we said it when we met that time, that it is our responsibility to take this message across. And we can see after the meeting we had, after the resolutions we took, you could see everyone, social media, everywhere we go, people are excited, and they now know that with this they are going to realize what was not realized in 1994, and the land will be returned to its rightful owners.
In fact, this is an inaugural joint cooperation event. This is the first event. Going forward, are there maybe any sort of events that are in the offing that will be commemorating, and what would those be?
There's a lot that is coming, and as we said to you, we are building a shield and a weapon for our people to be able to fight against racism, to be able to fight against corruption, we are building this weapon for our people to be able to stand for themselves and understand that they are their own liberators. They are not going to be liberated by food parcels that comes once in a while. They are not going to be clothed by t-shirts that comes once in 5 years. That is an embarrassment. That is an indictment against people who actually fought and bled for this democracy. Here are those people, 69 of them lying here, and they were led by the PAC. They were led by Sobukwe, and that is why we say as Azapo, this day is nothing else but Sharpeville Day.
This day, in fact, it's a painful reminder that says South Africa's freedom was never free. To honor the martyrs of March 21, 1960, what do you think we are missing, and what do you think needs to be done?
We need to honor our martyrs. We need to constantly remind our people. Remember, the president said this is a struggle against forgetting, because in fact that is deliberate, because those who do not own history and those who did not do anything that they can claim today are trying to rub off this day. That's why they are changing names, that's why they are celebrating, that's why they are doing all those things. Now it is our duty to take this event, not only this one, June 16 and formation of Azanla, APLA, tell everyone that this is what our martyrs did, and we'll never forget, and we'll keep on flying their flag high.
What should be done?
There's a lot that needs to be done. First of all, we are demonstrating with the PAC that it is about time that the organizations on the left understand that the struggle, it is not only about winning seats in parliament, but the struggle is more than that. The struggle is about power, state power, because it is through that power that we will be able to address the issues for which our people who are lying there, 69 of them, can be addressed. It is the land, it is the wealth. The wealth must return to us as a people. We must stop being beggars. 13 million of our people, and those are black people, are unemployed as we are talking, because the wealth is not in our hands. And upward of 33 million people are poor, and those are black people, nobody else, because we've got to wake up and go and beg for work from somebody else. Yet we have a government, and we say it is a black government, black president and everything, but there is no dignity, no land, nothing.
And you reckon this will be achieved in our lifetime, Tate?
Oh yes, it is, as I've said. We are not going to betray that mission. We will fulfill it. In our lifetime, the land shall be returned. In our lifetime, this country shall be called Azania. Everything will be fine. In our lifetime, in your own lifetime, you'll be part of it.
Well, that's it. We have it from Sharpeville here in the Val, where the PAC and Azapo are jointly commemorating the martyrs of 1960. This is the area where people stood up to fight for our liberation, and ultimately South Africa is free. But the PAC and Azapo believe a lot still needs to be done to realize the dream that they said has been deferred, the dream that they said has been betrayed. It's back to you.